What's up, everybody? How we doing? Let me just post in a couple more places quick, take care of a couple things, and then we'll get started. Alright. Sorry, I just replied to like 10 DMs. Go blue, Flying Dutchman. We did it. I'm flying out to Indianapolis this weekend to watch them play Iowa. Don't forget Telegram. You're right. Let me do that right now. Appreciate it. Dumping it live with Kaz. Yeah, we'll see what happens. How's everyone doing? Nice rally last couple days. Good to see some life from the market. Ethereum continues to be a lot stronger than Bitcoin, and it's not particularly close. Still looking for something like this to get long on Bitcoin. Ethereum, I initially wanted a retest of this before we went up, but we just went straight up, so never got that entry. But I think for now the idea will be to look for some longs in this area. Also, I forgot to say this when we got started, but shout out to Bybit, shout out to Magic Eden. They are the sponsors of these streams. Magic Eden is my preferred Solana NFT marketplace, and Bybit is where I do the majority of my leverage trading. So if you would like to support the stream, support my free content, you can check out either of those. Alright. Now we can get back to the TA. Trader Joe said they didn't want to focus on as much marketing right now, so they asked if we could pause things, and I said sure. Fine with me. I'm just here to help. What's up, Mark? Shout out Magic Eden for selling you dragons. There you go. And now dragon eggs, and in like 18 days we'll see some dragon babies, or 19. Shout out Sconies. I love scones. Great coffee treat. All right, let's dive into some of the TA. I think this is last week's Monday's range that I have on here. Yeah. I still think it's super clean though. So I'm going to leave that on, and I actually think it looks a little better than this week's Monday's range. Relax. Actually, 10 hours left, so I should probably do that soon. Because I'm pretty sure last year I bought my TradingView thing on the Black Friday sale. I don't know why this is being slow. We'll come back to it. So, they always do like 60% off on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is today. And that's usually a great time to renew. So for Bitcoin, I think this range is really clean. We have last week's Monday's high here. We almost tagged it there, but we didn't. And then once again here. So we almost have these 3 equal highs all right in this area. And I think that is going to work as a pretty obvious magnet for price. So what I'm hoping for is that we kind of retest Monday's low around here and also kind of take a stab into this consolidation. This gray level is, it might be a 3-day level. Yeah. This gray level that we're working with is this 3-day demand. And so ideally we see that hold or continue to hold. But we had this really nice rally out of this level after sweeping the lows. And now I think retesting the origin of that pump would be a healthy thing to do. So something like that is the hope. We did take out this high, so maybe that marks the start of this pullback. But once again, like, it's just, there's some very clear strength from a few coins in the market right now. Luna is up 13%. Bitcoin is down, and Ethereum is up 4%, which is a bit crazy. And also Sol is having a good day. So we'll talk about those a little bit more in depth shortly. I guess I should have done an update on what we were talking about last week, huh? I kind of deleted the chart, but last week we were streaming around here, and I was saying my highest conviction play of the week will be along in this area, targeting this SR. So that worked out great. I also posted in my Discord that I entered a short here at 45.29, so right there. Problem is, I took most of the profit like right here, but it happens, I guess. Then we came all the way down, swept this low, hit the mid-range, made a higher low, whereas with Bitcoin, it made a lower low. Pumped from there, little rejection at the range high, nothing too serious, and then broke above. So going forward, main setup I'm looking for Ethereum would be a pullback to around 4,500. And I think that lines up really well with Bitcoin pulling back here. Obviously the structure looks a lot different because Ethereum's pretty much up here and we're looking for this pullback, whereas Bitcoin's here and we're looking for this pullback. But I think coming into this support and coming into this support could line up well with each other. Why do I think it'll go down and not up? When I draw these, it's not really a prediction of where I think it'll go, but more so a plan. So like, Ethereum could keep going straight up from here and I'll be fine. Like, I would be very happy, actually, because Ethereum's one of my biggest holdings and I'm happy whenever it goes up. However, in this scenario that I kind of have mapped out here, it's more so a plan that if we come back down to this level, then I will look for longs to take this higher. Right, so I'd probably look for something like this and target, I mean, probably around here. But it's not, this isn't me saying, oh, I think we are coming down to 44.80. This is me saying, if we do go down to 44.80, I'll be looking for longs. You don't think the 45.40 SR will hold? Like right here? I don't know. I think it would make sense to take out that low, sweep all the stops that were there. Oh, you said you meant at the time you shorted it? Okay, yeah, I can talk about that too, or the idea behind that short. So basically here, this entire, or all of last week, I was looking for a long up to this level. Oops. Because this was our floor before the breakdown, and that was my target for longs, and I expected that that would be tagged as SR and that I'd look for a rejection there. I didn't think it would come all the way down here. I thought we could get something like a pullback to here and then continue up. But this SR level was the reason behind that short, so I took profit on all my longs up here, entered a short, ended up closing the short a little early, but it was nice to see that the idea was right, and now we're kind of above this level again. However, that doesn't mean it can't wick below, and also, like, you could draw the SR level as this whole area. Bunch of wicks, absorption here, resistance, resistance, resistance. So it's kind of this whole region. Sometimes you can't really map SR with one single line. At least I think it's a little harder to do that, and also you can kind of psych yourself out of a trade. Like, let's say this was your one SR line instead of that whole region. Here you might have been like, oh, we flipped it, we got above the level, and then you might have been looking for a long or something like that. So I think SR should be looked at least in my opinion, more so as like areas of SRs and not like one specific level. And I think it would make sense to come test around this range high again. There was obvious rejection around there. And if I'm right about thinking this pulls back, I would say this looks more like it's going to pull back than Ethereum, but I think to a certain degree they would move together, even though today they haven't really. But just after seeing that sweep, it looks a little more unhealthy than Ethereum. So we'll see what happens. You still hold Apex? I do. And GG. I bought some of that Galaxy Goggle fork, OHM fork, but I got a really bad entry on it. So, do I think we get one more leg down? Do you mean like high time frame? Like below here? I think it's possible, but Ethereum looks good, and Ethereum looking really good kind of makes me think the market will continue to do well, but I don't know, it's a little tough to say. On Twitter I said that if Ethereum can get back above this kind of SR level here, that I think there's a good chance we have a really bullish December. Do I hold Boku? I use my Boku for breeding, but yes, I hold Boku. Very bullish on Boku. Very bullish on the dragons as a whole. So, let's see. So that's kind of those are the main plans for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look for Ethereum longs around 4,500. Look for Bitcoin longs around like 55.3, 55.5, somewhere in that range. Got your first gecko the other day. Congratulations, man. I think as long as the geckos continue to build and is clear that the team is very committed to doing that, that I think soon enough they'll be looked at as an OG of Solana and will do well. Do I drink Boku? My dragons do. Is TA similar to day trading stocks? I think some TA similar stocks can be a little tricky because there's so many gaps, but ETH leading and BTC lagging could lead to a bigger dump. It's possible. I mean, yeah, we've seen that before. We've seen it before where that happens. We've also seen it before where Ethereum kind of just leads the charge. But I mean, the Bitcoin high time frame structure still doesn't look good, right? I mean, we just keep making lower highs. So I want to see us put in a higher low and then shift above all these highs. And then I'll be more comfortable. But right now, yeah, Bitcoin looks a little worrisome. And I would just want this to be like a wick down and then see a strong reaction if this is actually going to be a higher low. Discord link, I'll post one soon. NFTs made you broke. They're a scam. You got to be careful, man. And manage that risk. Do I think Sol runs with Ethereum? It's hard to say, but Sol looks better than Bitcoin, that's for sure. And I mean, if today is any indication, then I think it's possible. My GG entry was like $300. And now, let me check what it's at. Like, I still think it'll be fine. I hope. But I mean, last I checked, it was at like $70 now. So, but I am fully prepared for that to go to zero. I mean, I don't think that will happen, but I'm not gonna be like wrecked if it does happen. So that's kind of the idea. Sol does look solid though. I mean, especially compared to some of the other stuff. Hold on, I just missed a lot of messages. Your friend Sven wants to get into the Discord. Well, when I drop the link in the chat, you can shoot him that link. I'm still bullish on Joe. Do I think moon cycles are a good TA indicator? I like to think. I mean, I think it's fun. I don't trade based off of them, but I think it's fun. Do I ever scalp? Not often. Was that on the way up or down? I think that was after the run up to 700. I completely missed that. Actually, I might have gotten it on the... There was like that one spike up at the beginning. I don't even remember. Sol looks good though. I think if we do kind of get that possible pullback that we're seeing, I think we get something like this from Sol. But for a while, like I was looking at that monthly open the whole time we were down here, and I was like, Sol will look a lot more bullish once we flip that level. Wonder what happens if we draw. Look at that. That lines up on those wicks really well. Right? Something like that. But yeah, hold above the monthly open, and this looks solid to me. Respect zip. So that's kind of the plan with Sol. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Okay, let me get a Discord invite link for you guys. This invite link will be active for 12 hours. All right. So if one of your friends wants to join the Discord, training the typing speed, then you can send them that. I have not seen Mitch Ray. A couple of you guys want to see Luna. Might as well look at it since it's absolutely ripping. I mean, so Luna's in price discovery mode. So been a while since the typing test. It has been a little while, huh? Good place for funding. I use Viewbase. Send that link in there too. Do I still use Telegram? I pretty much opened the Discord to kind of replace the Telegram. It's hard to be super active in both. It's already hard enough to run a Discord with 6,000 people. Or whatever we have in there now. The Ask Cause channel is getting a bit overloaded. But I kind of just tell people that the best time to ask questions is during the streams. So nice daily level here. If I was in Luna, probably getting some things just get a little. What did you guys say? You want to see where you would take profit? It has a daily div. I don't think this counts because this is more than 14 days apart, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, for sure more than 14 days apart. And when you use RSI length 14, the div isn't technically valid if the candles are more than 14 candles apart. That's something that I learned from CBS, who is kind of the div master. He trades divs far more than I do. I don't really trade him that much, but I keep an eye on it. So if I wanted to get into Luna, I mean, I think this is your first 4-hour support. Lines up nicely with some daily support. Maybe it consolidates there, ranges a little, and then wicks down and reclaims. I would probably need to see something like that, or any type of extended consolidation to kind of get in. It doesn't really fit my style to chase something like this, at least not usually, unless I'm trading it from a much lower time frame perspective. Like, there were probably some opportunities to get in throughout here, but with how extended this is, it's a little tricky. We also did just kind of sweep this high. I mean, I think one way you could play this, if you've been long, is just like trail your stop up to every next high or low, depending how aggressive you want to be with trailing it. Like, you could chuck a stop here if you've been in for a while, and it's like if it comes down, you probably get an entry around like 53. So that's kind of how I would look at Luna. I do think this daily, actually, I kind of like this SR level better, which lines up with the 4-hour. A little more confluence there. You could draw them both though. Oh, it was a weekly? Yeah, that's a div. That is quite the div as well. Jeez. You said maybe the 3-day too? Yeah, I think this one would count. But I mean, that could keep extending for a little while. Like if it does something like this, pulls back a little, makes another high up to like 70 something, does this, you know how it goes. All right. Someone else was saying Adam. Adam looks a little weak to me. I wouldn't really want to be, like, I'd rather play into some strength right now if I was looking for longs. No, I wouldn't short Luna right now. Like, I prefer Ethereum and Sol when looking for longs because they've been showing some strength. But with Adam, this doesn't really look great. I probably wouldn't even really touch this right now. How are you drawing lines so straight? Yeah, hold shift. So if you have a trend line, hold down shift. Oh, then it'll keep it straight for you. A little trading view hack for you. Trying to see if there's anything else that I have been looking at. Looks like we had this drawn from a while back. Serum finally hit it. This run was so crazy. From like 2 to 13. And Serum's just kind of been dead since then. Thanks, Kaz. Truly appreciate your insights. No problem, man. I am happy to help. So, last week when we were streaming, I didn't do as many chart requests or like look at as many coins, but I tried to focus in on my highest conviction plays for the week, and that ended up working out really well. And I think that's the way we should kind of continue. I think as traders, you can spread yourself a little thin and then miss some of the obvious stuff that you wouldn't have if you were more focused on that. And I think I have pretty clear setups this week on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Sol. So anyone that joined recently, this is the Bitcoin setup I'm looking at. And this doesn't mean I'm predicting that it drops to 55,300. It just means that if that happens, I'll be a buyer. And I know I was kind of saying to play some strength with Ethereum and Sol, but I do think ETH BTC could have a bit of a pullback soon, where we would see Bitcoin take the lead a little. Like if this was any other chart, or if this was whatever, like you don't really expect this to keep going forever, I think it would make sense to have something like this. And if that happens, that means we're going to see Bitcoin outperform a little bit. But you want to open 15 longs at the same time. Me too, man. But yeah, so if we do think ETH BTC can outperform for a bit, or sorry, if we think ETH BTC will pull back, we'd be more interested in Bitcoin longs. So maybe Ethereum holds up a little better, doesn't pull back as much. ETH BTC keeps pushing. I mean, let's see what each of these pullbacks would be. Around 4%. What's this one? Pretty close to that. This still never loaded. Weird. So if we do see a pullback here, we're going to see Bitcoin outperform Ethereum for a little bit. And so that's why I'm comfortable taking some Bitcoin exposure. So pull back to around Monday's low, origin of the pump, look for a long. Pull back to the range high, look for a long. Pull back to monthly open plus this big consolidation. Let me see if we have some other levels on here. Oh, maybe it'll, if it pulls back here, maybe we will get a wick below to take out Monday's low. And that's right at the weekly open and the monthly open, so quite a bit of confluence there. And let me actually just look at this on ETH and BTC as well. Once again, some good confluence around here. because Ethereum is so strong, I don't think it gets back to Monday's low unless the whole market really pulls back a bit. And with Bitcoin, I mean, it's kind of below some of the more important levels. But with this, if you want to take a little bit more of a conservative approach, if it does come down here, man, and this chart's looking messy. Hold on. Let me open another one. So, this is this week's Monday's range. If we think it'll pull back towards the origin of this pump, do something like this, you could wait to enter your longs until we flip this, put a stop loss there instead of here. And also, if you did enter here, you could move your stop loss up after this happens. And yeah, that's kind of the idea. That's the more conservative approach, though. Do you ever set and forget trades, or are you looking for reactions? Sometimes I'll set some limits, but I do like to see buyers step in wherever I am interested in longing or shorting, but then sellers. Also, it would take a bit of soul weakness for it to come back down to that level, so I'm not necessarily expecting that unless other stuff pulls back more. I think probably pulling back into this area is a little more likely, but we will monitor that. Like, you could set some limits here for Ethereum. I might do that, but I would want to see a quicker reaction after hitting that level. I wouldn't want to see it come down here and just like chop around for a bit. So, if that makes sense. Where do I check if buyers step in and how? Basically just if we see a reaction. Like, if, like, I mean, here's a good example. We were looking for longs around this mid-range, right? Once we broke above. And it hit it and didn't, like, there was a good reaction from that level. There was a wick, and then it started pushing away. It didn't, like, come down to here, kind of chop around it, not respect it very much, and then whatever. So when I say buyers stepping in, I guess I just mean, like, a reaction. And you can see that on the chart. Monthly level will be tomorrow. Yeah, we will have a new monthly open tomorrow. But the previous one, like, it can still be relevant because, as you can see, like, this region acted as good SR throughout this level. So even though we're getting a new one here pretty quick, I still think this, like, 202 to 204 region is still significant regardless. It is kind of interesting how clean this trend line is. Last time we had a consolidation like that. I mean, Sol's kind of doing this a lot, isn't it? He had this one, kind of chopped around that one a bit, so not as clean. And then maybe you could even say we had another one right here. So I think from a macro perspective, because you guys do know that as long as this is a real range breakout and this isn't just a fake out and we nuke all the way back down, as long as this is a legit breakout, I'm expecting a very bullish December, and that would line up with Sol. I mean, I don't know if it happened straight like that, but Sol breaking out and trending throughout December as well. I don't know how far or for how long, but you know, maybe we'll see something like that. In the past, we have seen that when Sol does break out of these consolidations, it gets going. Oh, here was another good one. This one was for a lot longer though. Oh. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not a trend line expert. Anyway, the main point is we've seen multiple long, well, some longer than others, consolidations from Sol. This one is probably most similar to this one. Our current one might be a little longer though. Let's see, from the day it makes the high until it kind of pops. 41 days. Okay, not quite. Oh, I think I was looking at, if we're just looking at this part, I guess from this first pump there, and then it had another consolidation, but whatever the case, we're getting close, right? And it could do something similar where we get one nice bounce and then consolidate back above this trend line and then really go for it. While BTC ranges? Yeah, it might be while BTC ranges. So I think we do have the potential for seeing a really big December. Couple things still need to play out. I mean, Bitcoin needs to not nuke. That would mess some stuff up. But it's looking promising, and that would be pretty exciting. If Sol pumps, it might not be so good for geckos. I don't know. We've seen Sol NFTs do well with Sol pumping. We've seen them do well with Sol consolidating. I think there are quite a few factors that come into play with it, but honestly, I was saying it earlier, as long as they, like, it just comes down to survival. People forget that Bored Ape Yacht Club launched in like April. And so they've been around for 7-8 months, and they're considered like an OG NFT, and they didn't go straight up that quick, you know. So I think as long as the geckos keep developing the project, keep working on things, keep adding value, doing events, things like that, then over time as long as they survive, they'll be considered like one of the main Solana OG projects. And then next time there's like a bunch of Sol NFT hype, we'll really see things moving, I think. And you got to remember how like Sol NFTs are still in the early stages compared to Ethereum NFTs. So there's that much more upside, because if gas keeps getting worse and worse, I think a lot more projects are going to come over to Sol. A lot of people who used to use Ethereum, I'm not going to say they're like selling all their NFTs that they have right now on Ethereum, but I just mean if they still want to keep investing in new projects and things like that, I think Sol is going to be the best place to do it. And so there's a lot of upside from new money coming from Ethereum. What's a good price to get ETH right now? I don't speak trade language, sorry. No worries, man. I think around 4,500. 4,450 to 4,500. If we get it, I think would be good. But we've been consolidating for a little bit now. Like, I think it is possible this just keeps going. And if it does, you just enjoy the ride with spot and look for another leverage long later. ETH for high ticket sales only, basically. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense for a new project to launch on Ethereum for like 0.01, which is like a $50 mint, because you'll be paying more than that in gas. And it doesn't make sense to buy something on Ethereum that's cheap, because once again, you'll be paying more in gas. And so I think over time we will see more money coming to Solana. And they'll be like, all right, what projects do I need to get some exposure to? Do I need a SMB? Do I need a Dragon, a Boogle, a Gecko, whatever, you know? And at that point, a rising tide lifts all ships. So if new money's coming to Solana, it's going to help all the main projects there. My voice is tired today. Uh-oh. Maybe I need another cup of coffee. Take a glance at Matic. Let's see. Remember when I didn't know how to pronounce this? And then someone said it's like automatic, and I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Do I have a referral link for TradingView? That's a good question. I don't even know how to find out. Thoughts on Serum? I'm kind of not touching it right now. Back to Matic though. I mean, let's see. This is a little bit funky with this. Let's see if Monday's range can get us a little insight. So we're right around Monday's high. Right around resistance. Also, you can see how well the daily open is being respected from a candle close basis. This is a little tricky though. Usually, like if the pullback scenario that we're looking for plays out, then I think either we come for this low, depending on if there's much Matic strength. If not, I mean, you guys know I like my Monday's range sweep setups. So kind of into the origin of this pump, take out Monday's low, flip it and go. Like, that's the more ideal setup. I just don't know if we're going to get it, because that is a bit of a pullback. IOTA. I can't remember the last time I looked at IOTA, but for the culture. Nice music, by the way. It's a Spotify playlist. I think they are on Spotify. I just like pull up their YouTube live stream whenever I start streaming, so they like have the music constantly, like on a live stream. It's called Lo-Fi Girl, I think. So I just sent the link in there. All right. I will look at IOTA. I don't know if this is the coin you want to be. Wow. All right, I'm actually a little surprised that IOTA doesn't look. I kind of thought IOTA was dead for a while, but I'm clearly wrong. Because it's had one heck of a year. Throw some meme lines on here. We kind of got ourselves a big high time frame consolidation. I mean, if this is gonna break out, it could be pretty impressive. Maybe my voice sounds tired because the music is like so soothing. And then it's like you feel tired listening to it, but it's actually the music. But yeah, I mean, IOTA doesn't look bad. I don't really know if you're looking for a lower time frame setup or a higher time frame idea. It does kind of look like we're stuck in a range here, more or less, right? Between here and here primarily. But if this breaks out above like 160, this would not be a bad coin to hold some spot of. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really thought IOTA was like dead. But when something consolidates like this for 3 months, when it breaks out, you sound normal, soothing. IOTA Tangle technology is not developed. Why would it break? I have no idea what IOTA does from a fundamental perspective. I just know it was one of those 2017 coins and hadn't heard of it much since then. But I make investments based on FA and TA, but most of my trades, they're TA based. So even if IOTA sucks, scams pump the hardest. So that was deep. Dang, I don't remember what I said that was deep, but I'll take it. CRV looks solid. Had a nice pump last week, but it kind of got retraced. But look at that. The meme lines come into play. ADA SNX comp consolidated and broke down. Yeah, and I don't care if it does. Like, this could break down and it'll be fine. I just won't enter it, and I don't think you guys should either. But if it breaks out above here, then it's going to be a good long. And if it doesn't, then I wouldn't touch it. For me, trading is all about if-then scenarios. If this happens, then I'll do that. Can you look at the LeBron versus Stewart chart? Oh man, that was wild. I was at Circa, this like huge sports book in Vegas when that happened. And me and my buddies were watching it together, and we were just like, I can't believe this is happening right now. Or are we about to see Malice at the Palace round 2? How long before you got good at trading? I was probably a break-even trader in like a year. Profitable trader in like a year and a half. 2. Probably closer to 2. I mean, like, and being a break-even trader isn't a bad place to be. Like, once you get there, it's all about refining what you're doing. I think I could have gotten there faster if I was more disciplined with my journaling early on. And so I think that's the biggest tip I usually give people when they ask for like trading advice. I would say make sure you're journaling. You can find a lot of value from journaling. I did send a Discord invite link a little earlier. Let me try and find it if I scroll up. Here it is. You journal all your trades? Now I do, unless I get lazy. And usually when I get lazy for an extended period of time, I can like tell I'm not trading as well. So it really comes down to discipline. But yeah, journaling is important. How do I do it? I did a stream a while back outlining, like did a pretty deep dive into journaling. You were at that game? That's wild. I bet the vibes inside the stadium were pretty crazy. I bet everyone in the back of their head was like, is this really about to turn into Malice at the Palace Part 2? Where's that stream? I searched Trader Cause and journaling on Twitter. Okay, it looks like in this, wait. Oh my goodness. Unless, did I like do a video and call it journaling? I don't know. I'll look for it later and I can post it in the Discord. I don't remember if I called it journaling, but I'd have to check. If you're in my Discord, I'll try and find it and post it in that Cause Education channel. Oh, it literally already is in my Cause Education channel. I found it. Alright, let me post it in here. There you go. Look at FTM, sure, I'll look at that quickly. And then this idea kind of played out pretty well, if I say so myself. A little bit of consolidation under the SR level, break back above, retest it, and then it went to that other SR. Kind of clean. Um, I think as long as FTM stays between these two levels, then I would just look for some range trades. And if it breaks above 245, then I think you could look for it to start trending again. What's my expectation for getting our final January 2018 style alt season? I'm not sure. It kind of depends on how things shake out. I mean, if Bitcoin does top in December, then maybe it would line up well. But yeah, I'm not sure. The market dynamics have been a little bit different this run, where Bitcoin hasn't been showing the type of strength it usually does during the run. And so does that mean alts are already showing more strength, and so there doesn't have to be some crazy alt season at the end where Bitcoin consolidates? Because I mean, Bitcoin's been doing a ton of consolidating already. The King Dragon auction is live. So yeah, I'm not too sure. As far as defining a strategy, testing it, sample size, it's a little tricky. Kind of depends. I think first you need to determine what kind of a trader you want to be. If you want to be a high time frame trader, if you want to be a scalper. I think lower time frame trades, or testing a strategy on a lower time frame, like you can get more data quickly because you take more trades quickly. So I probably wouldn't test it's easier to test things on a lower time frame. And then once you know like what kind of trader you want to be, I think you need to determine how you want to do your analysis. If you want to trade SR, if you want to do whatever. Those are all just things you kind of need to figure out. I don't think there's like a perfect blueprint for designing a strategy. It kind of just, I don't know. For me, like the way it went for me, I learned a few different things. I actually started like with indicators and with some Elliott wave theory and stuff like that. And then I kind of found a way that I like to do TA, and that was through SR, ranges, supply and demand, and liquidity, I would say. And then you can kind of just create your strategy around that. And you can watch some of like Crypto Cred's videos, or go to my friend's blog, tradingriot.com, and there's a lot of good beginner stuff. And then you can kind of get a feel for how you want to do TA or whatever. All right. Any NFT alpha? Let's see. There's this project that just launched a Discord. That I am looking into, called Kongs something. I don't really know. But it looks like they have a lot of hype. All their tweets are getting a ton of interaction, and I heard about them today, so We will see. But that's what I'm looking into for those that want some NFT hype. Or NFT alpha, sorry. Now we kind of just got to be patient. When stream with Rexproof, I have had an open invite to him if he wants to stream anytime. But he has not, or I mean, we just haven't really scheduled it yet. I'm sure it'll happen sometime. I'm pretty sure there's someone that asks in just about every stream. I'm also thinking about trying streaming on Twitch. I feel like there's a lot more people that use Twitch, or like Twitch does a better job of showing when people are streaming, so it might be a way to grow the streams more easily. So I might start looking into that. Are you into metaverse stuff? A little bit. I know I need to dig into that more deeply. I haven't done as much in that realm as I would like to, but I do think there's a lot of potential there. Tell some basics about liquidity plays. I mean, that's basically like all the sweeps that I talk about in streams. Like this one that led to a long. Then we took out the high, and I think we are pulling back from that. Trying to think of some other good examples. But in general, here's another one. When I say I trade liquidity, I'm mostly talking about like sweeps. Use Twitch. How do we join that Discord? I don't think they're opening the Discord publicly until tomorrow. Oh, Metaverse channel in my Discord. There we go. I can start learning from you guys. But yeah, when I talk about liquidity trading, it's mostly thinking about where stop losses are, thinking about how those people will be taken out, how they'll get stopped. For instance, if we want to talk about this example, we put in this low and then had a really strong reaction. So a lot of people probably entered longs in here. So you would assume that there are a lot of stop losses around this low. Then when it came back down, it swept all those stop losses, took out everyone that was in this trade, longing it earlier, and then that's where it bottomed and where it pumped from. So that's kind of the basics. You have my streams from 3 months ago on your recommended page. I have no idea how that happens. If you're subscribed, then it might be because of that, but I feel like we're usually between 100 to 200 people in the streams, and I feel like people streaming on Twitch usually have quite a bit more than that, so I don't know. I could look into it. We'll see. I think that is pretty much gonna do it for the stream. Just looking for this pullback on Ethereum, this on Bitcoin. and something like this on Soul. Pretty similar across the board, but I would say those are my highest conviction ideas for the rest of the week. I'll be streaming again on Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys then. So thank you for tuning in.